Hello students, here we have the answer key for state exam multiple choice review number 2. Okay. Probably try to break this into 2 videos, so we'll get started. Show the work. Very important. If you just circle answers on multiple choice, you're going to line yourself up for trouble. So, all right, number 1. Read the last sentence. What was the greatest number of games Craig could have played? All right, so let's go back. He has $25 to spend. $25. He rented shoes for $5.25. All right, so here we showed you how to use equations, but because it's multiple choice and it's not an equation, you can just use arithmetic to solve this. So I'm going to work backwards, starting with the $25. He buys shoes for $5.25, so I'm going to take the $5.25 off, okay, which would give me $19.75. Then it's $4 per game. So then you take $19.75, you divide by 4. And you get 4.93, which your gut might tell you, well, yeah, this will round up to 5. However, if you play 5 games, he only has $25. So this is not a rounding issue. This is about how many games he could have played or bowled. So the answer to this is going to be A. But notice how B is one of your choices. All right, number 2. Label on a 1.5 pound bag of wildflower seeds. Or what is the number of square feet that 1 pound of wildflower seeds covers? Okay, so you're given that 1.5, which, if you want, convert it to 1.5, equals 375. Okay, so what does 1 equal? Right. So a couple different ways you can do this. You can take 375 and divide it by 1 1/2. Okay. Another thing you could do is figure out how many 1 1/2 will fit in the 375. Right, which should get rid of at least choice A if you're coming down to guessing. So here's something else to consider. Watch this. Right? Each one of these being 0.5, right? Altogether equals 1.5. So if you take 375 and divide it by 3, you get 1, 3, none left over, so 7 would be 2 with 1 left over, 125. So each box has 125 in it. I'm doing this by hand because this is going to be a question that you won't get a calculator for, most likely. So you're going to have to be able to answer this without a calculator. All right, so then we need to know what 1 whole equals. All right, so it comes out to be 250. Okay. The other way to do this is to take this and just multiply and then divide. All right. Number 3, what's going to get you on this one every time is if you do not remember that you're subtracting 3x, which is a minus 3x, and you're subtracting a negative 2. And you have to remember that when you get rid of, it goes back to the integer card game. When you get rid of negative cards, it's the same as adding. All right, so then you get 7x minus 3x is 4x. Negative 5 plus 2 would be negative 3, which is choice D. Okay. Number 4, the Bulls won 32 games last year. This year the Bulls won 40 games. What is the percent of increase? Well, first thing you need to do is figure out how much did it increase. There was a question like this on the previous one, and you're probably going to see a lot more of these increase and decrease ones. Right? Don't fall into the trap. So the increase is 8 games. 8 games. Change over original. Last year was 32. X over 100. All right? You could do it that way, or you could just take 8 and divide it by 32 and get 0.25, or you can make 8 over 32 a fraction of 1/4. All right, so this comes out to be B. Number 5, Gina rented shoes. Bowled 3 games, bought 1 order of nachos. She used a coupon for half off the price of her bowling games. All right, so she bowled, so that's one thing you're going to miss. What was her total cost? So we got to figure out the 3 games, plus the shoes, plus the nachos. All right, well, the shoes and the nachos, there's no deal on it, so shoe rental was $275. Okay, the nachos was $175. So you can just add those together. But the 3 games, well, then you take, each game is bowling, so you take 250 and multiply it times 3, bowled 3 games, that'd be 750. Okay, but she had a coupon for half off the price of her bowling game. So then what you need to do is, to take half off, just take 750 and divide it by 2. Right, so 3, this would be 6, 1 left over, bring down the 5. 2 goes into 15 7 times, would be 14 with 1 left over, bring down the 0. So you get $375. So that's how much the 3 games of bowling cost. Or the other thing you could have done is you could have taken $250 and divided it by 2 and got $125 per game, and then multiplied that by 3 as well. So either way works. You get $375 either way you look at it. So then you take the $375 plus the $275 plus the $175. And when you add the 3 of them together, you're going to get $825. That was the total cost. Right? Be careful. 12 is what you're going to get if you don't take half off the price of the bowling games, which is a distractor. Just checking the time there. Right. Number 6. This is the one where we're going to have to spend some time on. And I hopefully during Fast and Furious, I'm going to spend a little bit more time on this. And population of a city is expected to increase 7.5% next year. If P represents the current population, which expression represents? Right? Increase. So to increase by 7.5%. So what we're going to do is you take the 100%, which is the original, and you're going to add 7.5%. It'll get you 107.5%. Right? And then the equations, what you're doing is we're going to convert this to a decimal, 1.075. Right? So that should at least eliminate this one here, right? Because of 0.75. So then it's all about what happens. It's 107.5% of the original amount. So the answer to this is going to be B. All right, one more, and this is the end of this video. Letitia randomly selected 25, and we've seen this question. This is actually, we just did this one not long ago, so I'll just kind of breeze through this one, because by now, based on the data, reasonable prediction, 25%, 51 is the 25% in this problem, okay, of the students surveyed, randomly selected. And the answer to this, and this one doesn't come out nice, but it's 200. You get 204 here, so it says it's a prediction, so about 200. Okay. So this will be the end of this video, and then I'll make a second video and link it to the Schoology to cover the rest of the problems. Mr. Sims signing off.